Hey friends, Ryan here. It is August 8th, 2020 on a Friday. We're about 2 miles in. Whew, and we're running another virtual half marathon because all the real races have been canceled or delayed or whatever still. We are in Katy, Texas, just west of Houston, Texas, and we'll put up some weather snapshots. There is a nice little breeze occasionally and some clouds everywhere in the sky except for in front of the sun, but it's all good. Being in the hot 95 to 100 degree weather with a bunch of humidity is what makes it fun, right? Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. Anyway, in an effort to come up with some original routing for this week's video, I'm going to attempt to run most / all of this on these various little walking paths that wind their way through all these neighborhoods here. I've run on most of them, but never consecutive like this. So there's not a lot of shade on these paths, so that's the problem. These trees here in about another 5-10 years will provide a lot of shade, but for now it's pretty sparse. So anyway, quit yammering. Got some stuff I want to tell you about this week. How my life and traveling and everything. So we'll get going. And I guess Lunchbox is not going to run this week, so you'll have her video up eventually. She's still getting her hair fixed. And also she bought a Peloton on a little cheap payment plan with no interest, so she's enjoying that right now. Which again, probably makes her the smart one. We're not doing this in August in Houston. Alright, 4 miles. Going pretty slow actually. You can see how hot it is. But we're getting there. 9 left. So, you ever have one of them runs where your feet just feel like they're moving bricks? I don't know why, but that's what I feel like today. Sun's still with us, keeping us company. So this week, I went to Pennsylvania / New York for work from Texas. It wasn't too bad actually. The airport and United all jump up and down about, there's a plague on, so let's social distance and wear masks and all this other nonsense. But then they pack you in the goddamn planes and security lines and lines to get on the plane and jet bridges like damn sardines still. It's crazy. They do tell you gotta wear a mask anytime you're not eating or drinking, which about, 70% of the people respect, which is fine. I mean, I don't really care personally, but it's like if you're gonna complain that much and announce how safe you are and spend all this money advertising what you're doing to help the world, at least you could do is like semi-attempt to enforce it, or at least ask people, but whatever. I didn't die. There were a lot of people going on vacation though. Pittsburgh was like flat empty, but New York, or Houston rather, was busy. I mean, they've cordoned off some wings, but that just made the rest of the stuff that wasn't cordoned off as busy as it always is. And they really didn't care about enforcing stuff there. Even the police wore their masks either not covering their nose or just like on their chin. Like, who cares? Whatever. Same with the airport employees and TSA people. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So, anyway, the next, I'm gonna take some goat juice drink some water, and the next stop we'll talk about my hotel stays. All right, we're at 6.73. These poor people are moving. That sucks. We're still on these walking trails. All right, so Tuesday night, I stayed just over the Pennsylvania into New York at I don't know, Marriott, I think. And some of the stuff they were doing was kind of odd. Like, none of the damn hotels have breakfast anymore, except for stuff like the little pre-packaged fruit cups or sugar cardboard. It's very aggravating because typically when I stay at a hotel, I want to eat breakfast and go and not have to worry about it. So, you know, you get like a bagel or oatmeal or whatever, but they don't even have that. I mean, it's very frustrating. And then the restaurant, I think we ate at Applebee's, had this like really reduced menu, which doesn't make any sense. They're claiming it's because of this, but it's really because they're having less traffic and don't want to have to stock as much stuff, which is fine. You just don't have to lie about it. But the hotels are also not putting in weird stuff, like they don't have pens and paper pads in there, and they're not doing like daily maid service anymore. It's like, how is getting new towels affected by the plague? And then the other one we stayed in was at the Hyatt, I think, in Pittsburgh somewhere. But it's pretty nice, actually. You can stay in really good hotels now for pretty cheap because they're all so desperate for patronage. They were pretty good, except they had this restaurant in there that we ate at because we, you know, ditched the rental car to go to the airport earlier in the morning. So they had a reduced menu too of almost nothing, and they served you, everything was in a to-go menu, and if you went there to get food, like order it and take it up to your room when it was ready, they would tell you to go up to your room and they would call you when it was done, rather than let you sit there for 5 minutes while they cooked it. Or if you're sitting at a table, they would, like, they wouldn't give you a drink until your food got to the table. Not order, not nothing, just you sit there, tap your toe until you got to the table. I thought that was a weird one. And they wouldn't turn on TVs, so it was not to encourage you to sit there. Applebee's had them on, but this restaurant the next night did not. But there's some more interesting stuff about my travels we'll pick up next time we stop running in this freaking sauna. Whew. Here we go. All right, a little over 9, 4 left, and it's baking. Take a little go juice, some water. I think I'll take another salt stick at mile 10, which I took one at mile 5, I think, and then I'll take one again at the end. Smartened up a little bit this time. I brought an extra little bottle of water, but it didn't last very long. Oh. Okay, whatever. All right, so first night I was traveling, as I said, we stayed in New York, just over the border, and then Pennsylvania the next night. And it's funny, the stark contrast, the way people act between areas of different political leanings. Like in New York, everybody was absolutely terrified of anyone that didn't have a mask on or got too close to them, or, you know, constantly using hand sanitizers. Whereas in Pennsylvania, especially rural Pennsylvania where we were hanging out for most of the day, did not care. more people without masks than even had them with them. You know, getting in, touching everything. It was funny. But anyway, I'm not saying I'm one way or the other. I'm just saying this contrast is pretty funny. Anyway. All right. 4 miles left. Get done. Get out of this freaking heat. All right. All right. 11. It's hot. So, got 5 words screaming in my head. Are we having fun yet? You know what I'm saying? There's a kid back here practicing parallel parking. If that's not an outdated skill, I don't know what is. Alright, overshot a little bit, but finished right around 3 hours. Kind of slowed down that second half, but that's alright. So, lunchbox will do hers sooner or later. I'm about half a mile from my house, overshot a little bit, but it's alright. That one was tough. We'll get there. Anyway, appreciate you watching. Keep it real and stay tuned whenever for Lunchbox's rendition. We'll see ya.